Hey everybody, I'm back to discuss a few additional provisions of the Big Beautiful Bill. Today we're going to talk about a new provision for our seniors. So the first provision is an additional $6,500 deduction for seniors 65 and up. That's going to help our seniors. There's going to be a phase out for income of $75,000 if you're single and $150,000 if you're filing jointly. The next provision that I think is pretty interesting is a deduction for interest on qualified car loans up to $10,000. The emphasis here, so the thing to know here, you got to read the fine print, is that it's only going to be for qualified vehicles that were assembled in the United States, and the car must be used for personal use. So this is not eligible for business vehicles, and the car must be assembled in the United States. So that's what they're getting at there, is just to avoid this being used for cars that are assembled in other countries. So it's going to be really interesting to see, because I'm assuming they're going to have a list of vehicles that qualify. There's also a deduction phase out, like every tax deduction, for of $100,000 for a single and $200,000 for married couples. And of course, these are temporary deductions that will only last between 2025 and 2028, unlike the tax cuts for the wealthy and the well-connected, which are going to be permanent. The deductions that I'm going to be discussing today are going to be temporary. The next thing that I wanted to discuss is an expansion of the child tax credit. Now that is one that is going to permanently increase to $2,200 per child under 17, and it is going to be adjusted annually for inflation every year. So that's going to be good. It's going to continue to increase, and they do have inflationary increases as well. So that's cool. And in order to claim the credit, the child has to have a valid Social Security number, as does the taxpayer claiming them. And the child must be your dependent for tax purposes. There's certain rules when someone becomes a dependent. And the child must be under 17 at the end of the year in which you want to claim the child. So since this is going to be effective in tax years beginning this year, that means if you have a 16-year-old and that child turns 17 on December 15th, then as of December 31st, they will not be under 17. And so therefore, when you file your taxes next year, you wouldn't be eligible for the child tax credit. But I do think it's good that it's going to increase every year. The last one that's going to be quite interesting is there's been an increase in the cap on what we call the SALT tax, S-A-L-T, is state and local taxes. So that's going to be like your state and local taxes that you claim on your W-2, sales tax, and real estate tax. During the first Trump administration, when they passed the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, this deduction was capped to $10,000, and resulted in a lot of people not being able to itemize anymore, especially if they lived in high tax states like California, New Jersey, New York, states where the property taxes and state and local taxes tend to be high. So the cap is now $40,000. It's going to continue to increase 1% each year until 2029. Again, this is another temporary deduction, and it totally phases out if your income is more than $500,000 or $250,000 if you're married filing separately. So as I stated before in my previous videos, you might hear some things in the provisions that you like, and that makes sense. There are some provisions, but keep in mind that most of the provisions that impact people like you and I are temporary and not permanent, like the unnecessary tax cuts for the wealthy and the well-connected. Also, just in order to be balanced as well, as you consider these provisions and how they apply to your situation, please remember that this bill overall, the impact is going to be very detrimental. People are going to lose their Medicaid and their Medicare and SNAP benefits, and they're going to be directly impacted by this in a negative way. And the bill is also going to increase the deficit by $3 to $4 trillion. So the net impact of the bill is going to be negative. So I'll end there. Thank you for listening. And if you like my content, like, comment, follow, and share to continue to see me on your FYP. Thank you. Bye.